Tim Groseclose, author of Left Turn, How Liberal Media Bias Distorts the American Mind. A few questions for you that have come to us from viewers through Facebook, through our Facebook page. Randy Bach writes, if conservatives tend to gravitate to for-profit ventures, how can the journalistic world be re-rigged in a more entrepreneurial fashion to attract conservative and individualist thinkers?
You know, I would love to interview Roger Ailes, maybe Rupert Murdoch, to find out, because I think at Fox, my guess is that it would be at least slightly more conservative than liberal among the reporters there. Who knows? Actually, they looked at campaign contributions. That was about even slightly more for the Democrat. That's right. Yeah.
Really?
Now, those were more kind of executives than the reporters. But so, you know, if I'm right about that, there's something in the DNA of the liberals that makes them go into journalism more. Suppose you wanted a newsroom that was more conservative than liberal. How do you do it? Well, you can't hire people randomly. You almost have to give affirmative action to conservatives.
Right, right.
And so, if you're going to hire from the current pool of reporters, you're going to have to cherry pick, and it's going to be very hard. So I have a feeling that Roger Ailes and Rupert Murdoch, when they started Fox News Channel, if they wanted conservatives, they had to be very creative in terms, let's think out of the box in terms of where we get our reporters. And for instance, I remember Monica Crowley, when she was hired there.
Right.
She was this kind of no-name person. She had written a book about Nixon, but did really well on TV. It was, I think, this 20-something young woman.
That sounds about right.
No journalism experience, but for some reason, Roger Ailes said, "Hey, let's let you try out journalism."
I wonder also the entrepreneurial aspect of journalism. As news organizations, particularly newspaper organizations, take their established base of journalists and try to shift from print to the internet. Mm-hmm. I noticed the Wall Street Journal, for example, is introducing kind of specialty editions. So they've rolled out the CFO Journal. I just wonder if there are incentives in this shift for entrepreneurship on the part of reporters. Some reporters are going to get it more quickly, and I wonder. This is your next sociological problem.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Are the ones who you take the established base who write for newsprint, find out 5 years later who succeeded online, and see if they tend to be more conservative than the original.
Yeah.
Have I just constructed a study for you?
Yeah, maybe so. Hard, but it's related to something. One thing I've noticed about talk radio. That's the one thing where conservatives are there.
Right. Not only there, liberals are absent.
Almost.
Virtually every liberal attempt to create a liberal Rush Limbaugh has fallen flat.
Well, there are a few, actually.
Yeah, smaller market share.
Yeah, that's true. But if you look at talk radio, there are all these kind of standalone operations. They almost never get basic facts. They don't have reporters on the ground.
Right.
Instead, they are gathering it from other news outlets.
Right.
And that's the one thing we're talking, you know, people say, oh, talk radio is counteracting the news. I say, well, not necessarily.
They're not doing the reporting.
Yeah, they're not getting the reporting. And so conservatives are not doing as well at that as liberals.
Michael Kinney sends you a question through Facebook. Do you believe the liberal media bias is a contributing factor to grassroots conservative groups such as the Tea Party, which may have arisen in frustration that their views aren't being expressed?
I think so. I'm here to plug my book, but I'm going to plug Ann Coulter's book. I think it's chapter 2. She goes through, and it's amazing. She lists all the slogans that liberals have.
And the new book is demonic.
Bush
she doesn't
lied,
mess around with her
died,
titles. Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
It's just slogan after slogan. It's really eye-opening. A whole page of slogans. Says, now, here's the slogans of the conservatives. And the only one that you can come up with was the bumper sticker that said, annoy the media, vote Republican.
Okay.
So the Tea Party may be thinking that.
Conservative LA writes, ask if he's happy with the title. Left Turn, How Liberal Media Bias Distorts the American Mind. I don't think it fairly describes the delights that await inside.
You know, I might be sympathetic with that. You know, the whole time I have to say, and I patterned this book, my model for this book was Freakonomics, actually. I must have read that book 3 times. I'm friends with Steve Levitt, and I thought, okay, I want to write this for a layperson, but it's backed up with science. and it's got lots of stories in it. And I tried to write it as well as I could, so that people like my mom would want to read it. Wait, I forgot the question already.
The question is, are you happy with the title?
With the title, yeah. So I kept on thinking, something's going to come to me, a title like Freakonomics. It never did. So I can say maybe I want to think up a better title for it someday, but I still love the cover. I actually love the artwork on this. The people at St. Martin's Press did a great job, and we wouldn't have that artwork if I didn't call it Left Turn. And it's also fun. My son is 4.5, still doesn't quite know left from right, and he will look at it and sometimes call it turn right or left turn, sometimes right turn.
Excellent. Tim, to get back to L.A., just walk out the door and turn left. Dr. Tim Groseclose, author of Left Turn, thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.